Welcome to the 500th episode of How to Build a Team. My name's Matt Williams. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for everyone who has supported the show for 500 episodes. It's been such a blessing. We're part of the Fight Laugh Feast Network. Go over to flfnetwork.com, put an HTBT in the memo field. You'll get that sweet mug, tons of other benefits as well. This is going to be the one and only show for the week because we have the Fight Laugh Feast conference. You don't have tickets? Don't worry. Become a member and you can live stream the whole thing and maybe be able to see all of us and interact with us. I don't know what we're going to be doing for the live stream, but we're doing something completely different. This isn't just like a normal conference. And so I'm looking forward to seeing 750 of you guys. I seriously cannot wait. I've never been so excited for a conference in my life. And I'm honestly telling you that. I thank you, everyone, for just all of your support and just how wonderful you guys have been. It's been a great ride. If you have any questions, comments, you can email me, Matt at howtobuild10.com. You can find me on all the social media sites, How to Build 10. So we've done a lot on the show. We've helped you with your careers. We've talked about how to think through economics and policies with economics. In the political sphere, we've talked about how we can train your children. We've talked about how you grow your business, your careers. We've done so many different things. A lot of you have been part of the 250, making 250. And I'm pretty sure we're pretty close to hitting that goal of 250 companies being created by individuals or families with the goal to make $250 in revenue for the year. I'm pretty sure we're there. And I mean, it's just Scout's honor. I don't have any verifiable proof, but just from the amount of people that have reached out and told me their stories, told me what they've been doing, it's been amazing to watch. And I'm so thankful that we have that many more businesses for the glory of God. Amen. Amen. And I was trying to think, what do you do for a 500th episode of a show? I just didn't want to do any old thing. You know, we can talk about the debates that are coming up. We could talk about the tax returns in New York Times, or the Keller Times, as you want to call them, because Keller loves writing for the New York Times. I just didn't know what to say. But this, I think I came down to just this one simple thing that I want you guys to think about and be comfortable with and to understand and really embrace. And that is getting used to being uncomfortable. I listened to a lot and I've heard a lot of classes, been to a lot of classes on self-defense, on those, I've heard a lot of stories about special forces and the training that they do and all those different things. And a lot of what they are trying to get you to do is be comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's being okay in situations where it's freezing cold, where it's a chaotic situation. The noise is just crazy and you're drowned underwater. You black out. You don't technically drown. And just being in the cold situation, being in hot situations, being uncomfortable is actually turns out to be quite good for you. And you can apply this beyond just the physical and self-defense and learning how to protect yourself, learning how to be in those kinds of situations. It's also mentally. There's a lot of mental uncomfortable situations and moments in your career when you're thinking about starting a business, when you're pushing yourself beyond your limits, your comfort zone. There's a lot of uncomfortableness there. And if you could be comfortable, if you can learn to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, is to embrace the suck, as one of the terms is, embrace the suck. If you could embrace the uncomfortableness and just own it and accept it for what it is, and then learn how to deal with it and operate in that uncomfortability, you're going to be far more successful. And this is true for business. It's definitely true for entrepreneurship. When you're trying to learn a new skill, when you're taking a promotion, you're unsure if you are qualified for it. A lot of people have imposter syndrome because they get so far in their careers, they don't think they deserve it. We've talked about that before as well. And so there's just this uncomfortableness that comes with growing, comes with achieving, comes with excelling, which comes with battle, with excelling, with competing. I mean, in sports, even thinking back, there's been often a lot of times I've been asked to fill roles that I wasn't comfortable with, but I had to be for the sake of the team, especially when you get up to higher competition sports. Sometimes there's injuries. Sometimes there's just, I don't know, many different things. Sometimes you are just better fit for a role that you haven't been in. And so you have to adjust, you have to learn, you have to get better and take those hits and take those mistakes and learn from them. And it can be awkward. It can be very uncomfortable. So that is something that I've learned and been trying to deal with myself, is being comfortable in the uncomfortable. I'm not trying to get rid of the feelings. I'm not trying to pretend like they're not there. I'm not trying to think and act like I'm not like I am comfortable when I'm not. But I'm trying, man, did I just whistle? That's terrible on my 500th episode. But I'm trying to get to a point where when the stress levels are up, when you get a little hot under the collar, am I being able to process and think through as clearly as possible? Am I able to do the task, the duties that have been given to me as responsibility? And thinking about this goes beyond just the self-defense world, the physical combat world, goes beyond the employment world. But this is something that we're going to have to face more and more in our culture, in our politics, and in our church lives. It's often very uncomfortable for people to get in conflict with people verbally, in conflict with people with taking a stand for what is right. It's very uncomfortable for some people to do what Gabe did and sing hymns in front of the city hall with the police there. That's not comfortable. That's not easy. And the reason, most of all, that I want you to be comfortable with this is not because it's a crazy time that we're living in 2020. It is the year of uncomfortability. That's not why, although it makes it just that much more relevant. Is oftentimes the right thing to do feels uncomfortable. The righteous thing to do, the thing that God would be well pleased with us to do, is not comfortable. It doesn't always feel good. Taking up the cross and crucifying your flesh doesn't feel good. It's not comfortable. Jesus was not comfortable on the cross. Paul was not comfortable when he was stoned. Peter was not comfortable hung upside down on a cross. The early Christians were not comfortable when they were dipped in wax and burned like candles. It's not comfortable going to jail. It's not comfortable calling someone out on their sin. It's not comfortable standing up for what is right. It's not comfortable being a Chinese Christian, hiding in churches because the government tells you you can't meet. It's not comfortable. But those moments of uncomfortability, when handled correctly, when prepared for, and when you excel in those moments of uncomfortability, that's when pivotal moments happen. That's when success is achieved. That's when growth occurs. That's when victories are won. And I want you to win victories this year. That's what the show is about. I want you to have the finances. I want you to have the skills. I want you to have the mindset to be successful and grab victories, grab that flag on the hill for Christ as ambassadors for his kingdom. If we can get comfortable with the uncomfortable, we will achieve and excel at far more than we ever thought possible. The uncomfortable is murky, it's uncertain, it's uncharted waters. But that's where the opportunity is. Push into it. Push into the night. Push in to the seas. Climb those mountains. Let's be victorious. Let's do things that God can have the glory and tell a beautiful story about. That's what I want my life to be like. What do you want your life to be like? In a million years, looking back, what will you regret? Hopefully you'll be in heaven. Looking back, what will be the things that mattered to you? I don't know if you will regret in heaven thinking about that right now, but my point is the same. It's like, are you going to be regretting in a million years when you're in your glorified body? Are you going to be regretting taking a chance and stepping out in faith? Are you going to regret in a million years in heaven the times where you stood and had courage? Are you going to regret the times where you cowered? Are you going to regret those times where you played it safe because of fear? Not that always playing it safe is wrong. Live a life of no regret. Live a life of faith. Charge forward and rest in the shadow of Christ's wings. Let's learn how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. Have a good week.